When you think of stew, that very first thought will always be the same. Hungarian goulash. They say that for every Hungarian, there's a different recipe for goulash, beef or pork. I won't argue with that statement because for Hungarians, goulash is a national dish. Let's start with the beef. Here it's 700 grams of goulash mix that I bought at a local shop. The composition of such a mix is one of the best because it includes round, neck, shank, chuck, and shoulder. Salt all these pieces well and add freshly ground pepper. Set them aside just long enough to heat up the pan. Place the beef into the pan piece by piece, spacing them out so the meat doesn't lose its temperature. Otherwise, it won't sear, it'll start to stew. And we don't want that. Once it reaches the desired color, flip each piece over one by one. Once everything is flipped, we've got a moment to chop the onions. I love a lot of vegetables, so I'm adding 2 onions diced into medium-sized cubes. Onion adds a ton of flavor to goulash, so don't skimp on it. After removing the beef from the pan, lower the heat and toss the onions in. As they sauté, the onions should release water. Thanks to that water, you'll be able to scrape off the leftover bits from the beef. If they don't release enough, you can add a splash of water yourself. I also like to add a teaspoon of butter at the very end, just for that final touch of flavor. Meanwhile, I peel 5 cloves of garlic and chop them into small pieces. Throw them in with the onions and sauté literally for a moment. Then add a teaspoon of tomato paste and a teaspoon of pepper paste. Mine is an original one, straight from Hungary. Once the pastes are thoroughly combined with the onion and garlic, it's time for smoked paprika powder and sweet paprika powder. Don't skip the cumin seeds either. Mix everything together and add the previously seared meat. Combine it well so all the flavors marry. Next, pour in the beef broth, about 1.5 liters. You can swap it for vegetable or chicken broth, but the flavor simply won't be the same. Add 2 allspice leaves, season with salt and pepper, reduce the heat, and move on to the next veggies. Dice 1 large tomato into big chunks. It'll fall apart during cooking anyway. Add it to the pot. Do the same with 2 bell peppers. I'm using 2 red ones because that's all the store had, but you can mix in green and yellow too. In my opinion, the more peppers in a goulash, the tastier it is. Once the goulash starts simmering, transfer it into a larger dish or pot and place it into a preheated oven at 160 degrees Celsius for 1 hour. During this time, we'll take care of the last 2 vegetables. Cut 1 large carrot in half lengthwise, then slice it into fairly big pieces. Then move on to the potatoes. Treat them the same way. I had 4 medium potatoes. These veggies need to be in large chunks so they don't fall apart while cooking. After about an hour, carefully remove the hot dish from the oven and add the carrots and potatoes. If there's still a bit of space in the pot, you can add some canned tomatoes or more beef broth. Place the dish back in the oven for at least 30 minutes, or until the potatoes and carrots are cooked through. Serve the goulash with chopped parsley and, optionally, sour cream. In my opinion, goulash is perfect for autumn and winter days. It doesn't just warm you from the inside. It has that ideal paprika aroma. In the comments, let me know what your favorite goulashes or one-pot dishes are. That's it for today, folks. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up, drop a comment, and I'll see you next time. Bye.